Hi, I'm Al Bundy here in Atlantic City covering the New Jersey League of Municipality Convention, the 104th session here in Atlantic City. Now joining me is State Senator Bob Smith. How you doing, Bob?
Al, I couldn't get any better.
Tell us a little bit about District 17. What
We,
cities, towns do you have?
well, the town I live in, Piscataway, New Brunswick, North Brunswick, Franklin Township, and Milltown. 5 towns.
Wow.
About 220,000 people.
Now, one of the things that's big concern about vaping and e-cigarettes. What's going on to deal with
In
this
the
issue? Because it's kind of very serious problem.
Senator Vitale, who's the chairman of the Health Committee in the Senate, is sponsoring legislation on the Senate side, and I'm not sure who the Assembly sponsors are, but they are looking to severely regulate vaping, if not eliminate it. I know one of their bigger issues is having flavored vaping, which they think is one way that kids get hooked.
Attracted, right?
So there's some serious legislation coming on that topic.
You mentioned a few issues that are going to be taking place very soon in the lame duck session. Talk to us about plastic bags. What's going on with plastic bags?
Well, I think before the end of the lame duck, we're going to have the toughest plastics bill in the United States. And what it's going to do within a year, get single-use plastic bags out of supermarkets. They're going to be banned. Within 2 years, paper bags are going to be banned. And what that means is that when you or your partner goes to the grocery store, you're coming in with your
own bag.
Your own bag, and you're taking stuff home in your own bag. It also phases out styrofoam containers. Within 2 years, they're going to have to be gone. And then it has a whole bunch of issues that are sensitive to certain communities, like plastic straws. Plastic straws will only be available on request. So we think the number of plastic straws are going to be greatly diminished. And we're at the point where it looks like we have everybody on board, both houses of the legislature and the governor. So I think you're going to see the plastic bags.
And certainly people need to understand it's related to our green economy and making sure that we are concerned about issues related to
health, environment. Yeah, and by the way, plastics is right on there. You know, when people think about the plastics problem on the planet Earth, they think about this continent of plastic that's in the Pacific Ocean and another continent of plastics in the Atlantic Ocean. That's a huge issue. But the real issue is human health. These plastics break down into microparticles. They get organic chemicals attached to them. Fish eat them and other creatures eat them. And when you have fish, you're putting plastics inside yourself, and you're exposing yourself to the health risks associated not only with the plastics, but the chemicals that they bring into your body. And we found them in the Raritan River, Passaic River. They're all over the place.
Every river.
Everywhere.
Talk to me about electronic cars is going to be discussed in lame duck.
Well, one of the biggest things we can do to reduce our emission of global climate changing gases is to change the way in which we do transportation. Putting gasoline in a car, not so good, all right? In fact, the carbon footprint for the average person is enormous because of the way we get around. If we have electric vehicles that are charged by electricity generated by renewable sources like wind and solar, that carbon footprint goes away. So the state of New Jersey in the EV legislation is committing itself to a $300 million investment over the next 10 years. And then investment will be for 2 purposes: to provide incentives for our citizens to buy EVs, but most importantly, to put in the charging infrastructure. The single biggest thing that stops a New Jersey citizen from buying an electric car is they're afraid that they're going to get someplace and not have the charge to get back.
I think they have like 1,000 miles and they need to be recharged. I don't care where they're going or come on average.
Actually smaller. Actually, it's about 300.
It's only about 300.
300 to a charge. But if you're going to, for example, if you're going to a place you work and you have a charging infrastructure in the building where you go to work, no problem. And that's called range anxiety. That's the single biggest hurdle.
Yeah, I would have that just thinking about it. But so I think that's a great idea. Another trying to look at our environment, trying to deal with our issues that relate to just good health in our atmosphere and our climate. Let me kind of change gears here quickly. The governor's proposing through executive order a state public bank. Good idea, bad idea?
I think it depends. I'd like to see the details, but the stated purposes are to put together funds to lend primarily to New Jersey projects, so I like that already, and provide very reasonable interest rates to our citizens and our corporations. So I think that's a great idea as well. And that's not to say that other banks are doing it badly, but I'd love to have a bank where New Jersey citizens and corporations have the edge. So it might be a good thing, but I want to see the details.
New Jersey's governor has proposed and has funded actually for 1 year a community college opportunity grant program. Would you like to see that continue?
Oh yeah. I actually did legislation that is the current law, which provides tuition relief to veterans.
Great.
But the truth is, every dollar we invest in education in New Jersey returns huge amounts of money over the years. You know, we want people to become very well educated in our state. That way we can have workers who are getting higher pay, paying more taxes. Not that I'm a big fan of taxes, but having an educated workforce is huge. And I think anything we do to provide opportunities to do that, A1.
So we're going to make sure we have a competitive edge. State Senator, we're out of time. We need to stop. I want to thank you. This is Al Bundy with State Senator Bob Smith here at New Jersey's League of Municipality Convention in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Thank you.
Thank you, Al.